Harriet Baldwin, 700 days since we voted to leave, 400 since Article 50 was triggered, and only now a white paper next month telling us what it's going to be like. What have you been doing all this time?
Well, we've been making a lot of progress, clearly, in terms of having triggered Article 50, in terms of discussing with our European partners what is the next stage in terms of the implementation period. As you know, we're leaving the European Union on the deadline that we just heard, but during the period in the run-up to the end of 2020, we're in an implementation period.
Sure, but before we can move to that, we need to know what the deal is. Start
negotiating free trade agreements.
What progress have you made on the deal?
Around the world. We've made good progress on the deal.
Oh.
Okay,
so what's the customs union going to be like?
So at the moment, as you know, the cabinet committees, the relevant cabinet committees are looking at two potential solutions
both of which,
in great detail.
Both of which Brussels says are not acceptable.
Well, I don't know how they can say that, because obviously the full detail is being looked at by the different cabinet committees.
So you've made no progress on that?
We've made a lot of progress.
What about our
relationship
relationship with the single market? What progress have you made on that?
Well, we've made it very clear that as of next year, we're coming out of...
No, but what will our relationship be, even if we're no longer members? What progress?
So we go into a phase known as the implementation period.
Yeah, but we need to know what are we going to be implementing?
Exactly.
What are we going to be implementing?
And we will be discussing within Cabinet
so you made no
common
progress
position
on
in
that.
terms of the...
what will our immigration policy
options
be?
that are on the table. And
what progress have we made on immigration policy?
These are all subjects that are part of our negotiations for when we reach the end of the implementation period at the end of 2020.
What progress have we made on our immigration policy?
Well, we obviously have made a lot of progress in terms of working up our position.
What is our position?
Well, we have, in the process of negotiations, we don't give a running commentary in terms
but what's
of
our position?
Negotiations. So,
what's our position on immigration policy post-Brexit?
So, as I say, we're going to go into the implementation period to the run-up to 2020. During the negotiations, this is going to be one of the items that we will be discussing. And so
you haven't made any progress, have you?
We've made a lot of internal progress, but we obviously don't...
Internal progress?
Make the running commentary in terms of our negotiations.
Has the government decided what its immigration policy will be post-Brexit?
Well, obviously, one of the things that we will regain post-Brexit is control over our
I know
borders.
that, but have you decided what the policy will be?
Well, the policy will be to implement the decision of the British people, however you viewed in terms of the debate itself. We want to make sure that we regain control of our borders.
But that's not a policy. That follows from leaving the European Union. What I'm trying to work out is on what basis will citizens of the EU then be allowed into Britain? Do you have a policy for that?
So we are, as you know, going into a period where we are going to finalise all those elements of negotiations. And as we leave the European Union, one of the things that will be the outcome is that we will regain control of our borders.
Will the customs issue, you mentioned there were two options, both of which seem to be unacceptable to Brussels, but there are two options the British government has been looking at. We now understand there are legal problems with both of them as well. Will that be resolved by the time the White Paper is published?
In terms of the two different options that are being looked at in detail at the moment, that's a subject, obviously, for ongoing
but will the White Paper make a choice between one or the other?
White papers typically will set out a whole range of issues. So
no, that's green papers.
White
papers outline government policy.
Well, white papers are
so will it make a choice on the customs union
in terms of government policy? So they
I'm sorry. White paper is not a consultation process. White paper is government policy that is intended to be turned into legislation. Will the white paper make a choice on customs?
My understanding is, in terms of the timings, that it is going to be a very comprehensive white paper that will cover a wide range of different topics.
All right.
And it will be
You
published
don't know,
soon.
do you?
It will be published soon.
You don't know. You don't tell the does the Foreign Office get told nothing these days? You told us how you're going to vote, which is really what matters. Can I just check in the timetable? You published this white paper in time for the June summit in Europe at the end of the month. You then presumably use that to begin negotiations again with Mr. Barnier. That's July. You and I both know there's nobody in Brussels in August. And then you come back in September. And you're going to get all that done by October when Mr. Barnier wants the deal. Is that credible?
Well, I think, as many people like to say, nothing is agreed until everything is agreed. And I don't think anyone should underestimate the complexity of these negotiations. I think what the Prime Minister does very, very effectively is she analyses in great detail with her team all of the different details, but has been very clear about where we are going.
Can it all be done in 2 months? We are leaving the European Union.
We're having frictionless trade, control over our borders, and no hard border in
Can it be done in 2 months?
Ireland. So I think it's a protracted process, and
we have an
implementation period once the 29th of March has passed.
You're not really telling me anything.